Everybody knows that the senko, the dinger, the stick bait, whatever you want to call it, is some of the most fish baits of all time. And for good reason. They flat out catch fish. We fish them when the bite is tough, we fish them when the bite's good, we fish them when we don't know what else to throw. But there are 5 key mistakes that you are making with your senkos that are keeping you from using the senko to its full potential. So the first mistake that I see a lot of anglers do is when they're fishing a senko, they're thinking a very finesse technique, which for the most part is true. But when people think finesse techniques, for some reason we all get stuck on thin wire hooks. But when you're fishing a senko, especially wacky rig style or neko rig style, you're gonna want to use a thicker gauged hook. And this is to protect your senko from tearing so much. The thinner wire hooks easily pull through the senko and tear it up. The thicker wire hooks, well, they don't have that problem nearly as bad. And if you really want to save on your senkos, I recommend getting one of these O-ring tools and the O-rings that go with it and start using O-rings on your wacky and neko techniques. The second mistake that I see a lot of anglers do is missing out on the deep bite with their senko techniques. Whether you're fishing at wacky or you're fishing at neko, Texas rig, shaky head, whatever technique you're using, think about fishing it in that 10 to 15 foot depth. Everyone could fish less than 10 foot of water with a wacky rig or a neko rig, but who's fishing it in that 10 to 15 foot range? I bet not many of you. And that's exactly why you should be doing it, because no one else is doing it. This bait is killer in that 10 to 15 foot range. So the third mistake is thinking that all of your stick baits are the same, and that's not true at all. They're gonna vary a little bit. The Yum Dinger here has less salt, so it has a slower fall rate through the water. So think about that when you're picking up a pack of dingers. The Lunker Logs has a pretty good fall rate, pretty good action, but lacks a little bit in durability. And in my opinion, the Yamamoto Senko is the best all around. It has a good fall rate, it's pretty durable, and it has an awesome action in the water. So keep that in mind when you're picking up your stick baits. Mistake number 4 is limiting your presentation styles to a wacky rig or some other weightless technique. I like to fish mine with a shaky head or on a Texas rig, but sometimes I'll throw a senko even on a Carolina rig. This gives it a big, juicy profile and shows a little different action on your senko than the other techniques. And I also like to use it in weighted formats so I can use a bait caster on it and catch some big uns. Also, using it in a weighted format allows you to fish it even deeper than that 10 to 15 foot we were talking about earlier. So mistake number 5 is only depending on the fall or fishing the senko on the bottom for all of your bites. A very fun way to catch fish with a stick bait is using a Yum Dinger or a slow falling senko, wacky style, within a foot of the surface. And I'll just pop it through until it just about reaches the surface, and then I'll let it fall back down about a foot, and then I'll continue that cadence over and over again. It's a very fun and very visible topwater bite. This bite's a great alternative if you just can't quite get them to the surface to bite your topwater. This is just sub below surface, and they will nail it when they won't hit that topwater stuff. So maybe you're having a lot of fun fishing stick baits now, but you're struggling to use your spinning reel. Over here I got your top 5 most common mistakes that you're probably still making with your spinning reel. Check that out if you want to correct those. But until next time, see you later, Fishin' Fam.